FM21, does it have a better match engine than FM20? If that's the question you want answered, this is the video that will do it. My name is Daljit. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me. I do stream on YouTube very often, like 4 or 5 times a week. And with the launch of FM21, I will do shorter guide videos as well as live streams. And on my live streams, I will be doing all kinds of funny little things like I was doing last night. I was playing with some ridiculous setups, trying different things out, showing people what is possible with the match engine. And if you are keen, please subscribe and follow the channel. I will also be on Twitch on weekends where I will be doing the same thing, maybe something different. And last night, if you were on the stream, you probably noticed something. I loaded up like something like 70,000 players and had about 20 leagues loaded. And the saving and loading time was like 2 seconds. I had to actually hit the pause button many times because the game was running too fast for me. And we missed a few things in the stream. And well, on today's show, please excuse my phone. Apparently, lots of my friends are calling me and talking to me about FM21 as well. And what I want to do on today's show is I'm going to share with you certain things that have been an issue for people, right? The most important thing that I can think of has been the game itself, right? I'm not going to deal with a review of the game. I will do that in a separate video. This is the beta, of course, and things are going to change, right? The UI, there's certain elements of the UI I'm not happy about for the matchday experience. I don't think the matchday experience is... It's great in one sense of the word, and that's just maybe it's me, maybe it's a minor annoyance on my part, and I'll share that with you later on the stream when I show excerpts from the live stream itself. Now on today's show, we're gonna look at the match engine. Now I played this yesterday. I played a 4-4-2, right? It's a crazy old setup because I didn't want to go in there and play with the wide attacking. You know that there was an issue in FM20 which had to do with wide attacking play. Right? Wide attacking play was very much an issue in FM20. If you set up your tactic correctly, the AI would find it really hard to defend. Now, what I did in this show was to play a 4-4-2, and we scored quite a few goals. And a lot of these goals deal with the central issue that a lot of people had in FM20, which was central attacking play. Now, there are certain things that have changed in the match engine, and I'm not going to cover every single thing, because there's so many, like goalkeeper positioning, how the goalkeepers react. That has been dealt. Goalkeepers come out, they're much more aggressive right now inside the box as well. Ball playing defenders, they will step out of their line to clear a ball. I'm not going to deal with that as well. You'll find these are all basic stuff that should have been in FM20 but wasn't. It's in FM21. The main thing I'm going to talk about are 2 things. And these I think are really important. Firstly, focus has changed, right? In FM20, focus really dealt with runs into certain areas. So whenever you set a focus up, you see more runs in the area. FM21 is different. In FM21, we see more passes directed in the area. And on top of that, what will happen is midfielders will move into that area to support the play a bit more, making it easier for you to create overloads. Oh, yes, overloads. This is huge, man. Overloads. Remember how difficult overloads were for some of you? Now, with focus play, you can actually go into the game and set it up. Now, the thing about focus play is this. You got to think about the focus play because roles and duties also play a part. Now, if you choose the wrong roles and duties, naturally, you're going to have issues, right? Like I've always told people, if you use a Mazzala or a Carrillo and you put a Mazzala on an attack duty, he's going to go into the half spaces, he's going to stay a bit wider. Imagine you focus play right flank. The Mazzala is going to help support play as you build it up down the right flank. And because he's got a stay wider instruction as well, if you only have a 2-man midfield, the Mazzala might go missing, you might have a big gaping hole in the middle, and that could lead to you conceding a goal. And something that you have to bear in mind. So if you are going to play with a tactic, think about focus play. You don't have to jump in and go, oh my god, I have to use focus play. No. You don't have to jump in and use focus play. Now, this is a 4-4-2. I'll share the setup of the tactics much later. Now, essentially what I wanted to show you was several things. First up, we've got XG rating right now. This XG rating of 1.64 is over 9 shots, right? So We had 9 shots on target. We had a XG rating of 1.64. Now, I might get this wrong, but I'm pretty certain I'm not getting it wrong, right? So this is something that's very, very important. We now have got certain things like XG rating that comes into the game, which is fantastic. This tells you your XG rating as the goal goes in. So every attempt you make, right, you get an XG rating, and XG rating is like a cumulative total that builds up over time based on the shots that you had. So you can see at the start of the game, both teams had shots, and both, like our first shot was probably 10 or 8, 0.08 probably. That's like 8% of the time the shot is going to go in. Not a very fantastic XG rating. As time goes on, what you're paying attention to is the gap, right? Now, as we went on, our XG rating for our shots improved, which is not too bad. But I'm more interested in this. This is a shot map. This tells us what's the XG rating of specific shots. I love this. I love the only thing I wish SI would do right now is link it for me, man. So I go in and I see the actual event, but I don't, right? So whenever I click on this, I don't go to the event, which is a bit sad. I mean, it's a new feature, so we'll cut them some slack. And I got to give credit where credit is due. SI managed to turn this game, right? We have COVID, we have all kinds of issues with manpower, with being able to work, and they managed to get this out. This is not a reskin. Some of you are probably going to think it's a reskin. It is not a reskin. This is definitely a new match engine, completely rewritten. They've added slices as well. That was very obvious. I had a funny feeling they were going to add slices sooner or later. What's a slice? In programming, slice creates a new, like Avengers Endgame, right? You got the ancient one, you got Hulk standing there, you take out the time stone and you create a new alternative timeline, the kind of thing, right? So you got more choices, you create a different stream of outcomes. Slice does the same thing. You can take a certain event and then create a slice. It gives you 2 options. You can go A, you can go this way, you can go that way. So you might have 2 alternate things that might happen. So slices actually influence players on the pitch, because what's going to happen now is a player might change his mind. Yes, that is major. We didn't have that in FM20, right? So now decision making has really, on yesterday's stream, if you were following me, I kept pointing out incidents during the match where it was clear that a player had changed his mind, and one of the goals was exactly that. Now, here with XG rating, if you see a 0.22, that's 20% of shots away. Now, 0.2 is pretty good in XG rating. Now, XG is going to depend largely on where your shot was taken, where your chance was taken from. XG around this area is very high, right? Imagine concentric circles building outwards from here. This is the highest. Then as you come out to here, these XG ratings are really low. Somewhere around here is probably 0.1 here. We got 0.1, 0.16. We got one Luka Jovic shot with 0.21. Why would an XG rating be that high? What factors into XG? Was it on his favorite foot? Did he have time for the shot? Was it a header? Was it with the foot? And sometimes you can even get a nice high XG rating by forcing mistakes as well. Like if you force a mistake and the entire defense hasn't got time to settle, then you have another issue. XG rating is also a function of the algorithm also includes goalkeepers' defensive positioning. So all this was inside the game. I still think they have got a bit more to do with XG rating. I think some of the numbers look okay. Analytical data, you can pop up the whole thing. You got shot map for Real Madrid, we got shot map for Real Hispalis. You can see we were pretty good at giving them very few chances, right? 0.14 here. And these were the chances from outside the box. Of course, you have other information here. You got the heat zones or heat maps. You got an old one. Certain things are not. Certain things are still a bit iffy in the game, right? So like certain things have to be fixed. Like there's key pass combinations. Obviously, this is a slight problem at the moment. So so you gotta know what you gotta know what's not working. It's a beta after all, so please don't be critical. So let's take a look at some of the goals that we scored yesterday. Central attacking play looks very sweet. So this is our first goal. Now the time bars have changed. So if you want to track how the goal looks like over time, you gotta I gotta come out of here again. So this is a bit annoying, I have to admit, right? I'm not a big fan of this. Okay, so 10 seconds back. So this is our build-up play. Ramos. You can see I'm playing a 4-4-2. Designed to take advantage of half spaces. Half space, half space, half space. I got players in the half spaces. This guy's in the half space. Right? We got a tree here. Builds up. Comes in here. Now we've got our half space control here. We got half space. We got all our entire half space is being controlled. Where's the half spaces? Is the gap between these two guys. Okay. Okay. He builds the play up. Winnie, Carval, and then he decides to make a run. Goes out again. Hangs out. The guy takes a shot. First opening goal is like that. Not too bad. That's a drive into the box. Then our second goal. Second goal is slightly better. Okay. So once again, right, building up play. Vinny goes down. Hazard out unmarked. They are playing very narrow. Now the defender actually goes out to mark Hazard. We got one player here. We got one player here. Player goes in. Passes to the Hazard. And Hazard, now we're going to change the angle. Right, let's change the angle. Let's go behind goal. Look at this player. Right, he starts his run. Bang. He starts his run. He's still onside. Hazard cuts in, sees him. And then plays this beautiful pass inside. Beautiful goal. I was like, I thought this was good, right? We are playing with a target man and a poacher, right? Target man and poacher. Get that, guys. This tactic is using a target man and poacher. All right. So here we go. We're going to roll back another 10 seconds. Okay. This is them defending. We're going to come out of this. Now I'm going to see a 2D view. All right. So this is them defending. Oh, sorry. They are attacking. This is our shape at the moment, which is all over the place, which is exactly the kind of football I like to play. Sounds kind of strange. I know. Okay, here we go. Carvajal plays it with Vinny. This is our counter attack. We've got a target man. Wait, hold on. Target man and poacher. Right. Benzema is a poacher. How simple do I want to get in life? Hazard picks up the ball, cuts inside straight away. Poacher goes wide because it makes sense. Because, you know, if he's standing here, this in the old days, he'll just pass it to this guy and maybe he'll go out. Very simple football. Right? But right now, he knows there's space for Hazard to drive in. So he goes out wide. Hazard comes in and look at this. Jovic is here, right? Jovic, give you the ball. That was sweet. Okay, second goal, I was pretty happy with. Okay, and now we're going to look at the third goal. That's the third goal. Now the fourth goal. Again, we've got a counter. Our setup is pretty nice, right? So we can see the setup. We're going to... Oh, let's go. Fourth goal. Yeah. Now it takes a bit of time right now. Okay, we don't have the time bar anymore. So some people might find the absence of the time bar very annoying initially, but it's a new UI. We gotta get used to it. They've spent some time thinking about it. Okay, there we go. Target man gets the ball, holds up the ball, sees the poacher, goes, "Hey poacher, take the ball," and off he goes. Bang. Why did this goal happen? That was what I was interested in, right? So. I completely missed out on what's happening. So the wingers are here. This is a winger. This winger is all the way. These are both wingers on attack. Now this is another thing. Wingers on attack right now. They will sometimes drop all the way back. Now I have enforced it with mark specific position, which is my Bielsa style of play. Right. So you see this winger right now. It's here and here. Both of them were on attack duty. So the fullbacks were trying to attack and we just split them up, right? So they only had two defenders back. Perfect. He played the ball right into the space where the two defenders were. Because the fullbacks were out supporting play. And I love the middle block, right? I've always loved the middle block. It's when a team is most vulnerable when they're trying to build up the attack. Not when they're building the play from defense to midfield. It's when they go from midfield and they're thinking of trying to set up an attack. That's when they're most vulnerable. Yellow card. Then Benzema with the next goal. I think this is off a set piece. Yeah, corner. So all my corners are default. So I haven't changed anything. I think so. I really think so because I haven't really paid a lot of attention to corners because corner settings from last year still work. Long throws are still an issue for some teams who don't have the right height. If you don't set your long throw defending up correctly, you might concede a few goals. All right, this is yellow card. Now this is another goal, right? So we saw the target man poacher goal. Benzema again, right? Watch this build up. Sergio Ramos to his goal. Remember something like this from the first goal? Target man here, poacher here, right? Winger here. So he plays the perfect ball to Benzema. Benzema gets onto the ball, gets away, and says, "Hey, I'm gonna score." Bang. we have had some nice patterns for goals, and I'm pretty happy with how they're scoring goals. This is another match we played against Alaves. Let's see what the goals are like in this game. Now, I think in this match, we were using a 4-3-3, right? So we're using a slightly different tactic. Now, this is I call this my ridiculous Hail Mary system, okay? The XG is pretty low because we are meant to be defending and counter-attacking sides. So all I wanted from this tactic was counter-attacking goals. That's all. Like, I'm willing to take their punches and then I'm going to hit them in space when they attack me. So we created this tactic. I think this is a free kick. We scored from a free kick, so free kicks are still okay. And then I got this other goal from Eden Hazard. This was they were trying to build up play. Eden Melito. Now, he does a square, but he does a cross, right? Boom. This is with the feet. The highlights will show that this goal was scored with the feet. Right, so if you look at this sideline, yeah, he's not jumping in the air. He was actually, there we go. Bang, nice goal. Right, simple enough. And then we had other kinds of goals as well. Right, they will play against Levante. This was just on the stream last night. What did we play here? Oh, we played a 3-4-3 diamond as well. Yeah. Guys, yes, we are. All kinds of funny tactics can be played. Any tactic that worked for you in FM20 that did not use obvious match engine exploits. When I talk about match engine exploits, I'm talking about wide attacking play, right? If you were using that last year, you might have an issue this year, right? But if your tactics are based on some solid logic, you won't have any issues. Benzema with the cross, Vinny with a smashing goal. The defenders were totally out of position. We took advantage of that. And we went on. So what's different for the match engine? Right. Okay, for the match engine, this is the main things that you need to understand. The first thing is focus play has changed. Now, right now, I created a tactic last night, which was on my Galileo system, right? So I have my Galileo system. Okay, so Galileo from last season still works. So I dropped it to standard, and all I did was add the focus. Because Galileo is meant to go down using the flanks, not through the middle. And we ripped apart the side. So this inverted wing back comes in here. This inverted wing back comes in here. The whole idea behind this system is really simple. It is to use the flanks to build up play. So what focus play does is, it tells the central midfielders to support the direction of the focus. So if it's focus flank right, they will shift to the right. If it's focus flank left, they shift to the left. Focus play to the middle, they try and work through the middle. So we did this, and that's how focus play now works. And it can be very significant. I think that we did a few focus play stuff last night, but this tactic still works really well. I mean, in terms of like, this is the big thing for FM20. The other thing about FM20 is this. If you think that central attacking play is just going to happen automatically, it ain't happening automatically. You have to think about your tactic before central attacking play works. So there are going to be plenty of tactics that you guys might want to try out in the game. Now, what about role suitability? You notice there's something missing in the screen, right? We used to have those they give you a rates. The circles were just annoying last year. Now, what this means is this, right? Okay, if you see this, there's two things you can do. You can quick pick and ask the S-Man to give you some help. S-Man comes in, normally not that far off. The second thing you can do is you can come in here and you see role suitability stars. So role suitability ties in back to the current ability. If their role ability, this is the role suitability stars. This is what you have to pay attention to, right? So if you want to, you look at this, and then after that, these are the attributes needed to play that role, right? And then after that, you've got current ability. What is his current ability? His current ability is 3 stars. I mean, that's fine. 3 stars is pretty good, right? Now, what if you had role suitability 4 stars, right? 4 stars, and current ability 4 stars. That guy is better than this guy. That's it, right? So that's his current ability. But honestly speaking, just pay attention to the attributes. Like, I know what I need for these attributes. For me, this position for an inverted wing back requires acceleration, because he's got a lot of ground to cover. He needs decisions. He needs vision, right? So these are the attributes that he needs for that position. He needs work rate. So when I'm looking at him and I'm going, okay, that's fine. His decision making is quite off at 10. It's not very good. So I would use him, but I'll look for somebody else that's slightly better. So these are things that you might want to pay attention to, right? So all you got to do with this is, if you are in doubt, just ask the S-man to give you some advice, and that usually works. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to go into the game and you're going to pay attention to all this, right? So you're going to look at and try and understand your players. Is the bar a bit higher? I think it's slightly higher, but not that far off. As far as mentoring, the match engine is concerned, right? As far as this match engine is concerned, I can tell you this much. Long throws might still be an issue for some people, right? So you can use it as a weapon if you want, if you have the player, because right now with long throws, you need a player that has the long throw attribute for it to really bite. Last season, any Tom, Dick, and Harry could do a long throw. But right now, at least you need a player who can do the long throw, and that's how it's going to work. So I find that is a good little addition to the game. As far as have there been any changes to the roles? No. As far as I can tell, no changes were made to the roles. The roles are playing exactly the same. Team instructions have been tweaked somewhat. Focus has been changed. What about high press? Does the high press, the high pressing style work? Again, pressing is still strong, provided your players have got good positional awareness at the back and have good work rate. The issue with that is, if you play against a team that can set up its target, like I did just now, the target man pusher combination against the high press, especially in draft mode, you're gonna pay a big price. So probably in the hands of somebody who's doing it, you might want to be careful, because the high press has a price to pay. And this is where I will suggest thinking about your offside trap. Right, whenever I'm pushing up very high, I have this habit now of thinking about my offside trap, whether I really need my offside trap or not. Because when you play with the offside trap, you kind of create compression in your tactic. When you create compression in your tactic, you may actually make yourself vulnerable if your players don't have the understanding. For some tactics, you're better off thinking about whether you want to be playing with a offside trap like this, the Wonderboy 343 diamond. This is not the Wonderboy 343 diamond. Is that the Wonderboy 343 diamond? No, this looks like Galileo. No, can't be Molten. Okay. Wonderboy 343 diamond. Yeah, I must have saved this. I'm gonna have to load this again. This is my 343 diamond this is a 3412. So if I'm playing with a 3412 like this, right? If I use the offside trap, I gotta be very careful. So I'm most likely gonna remove the offside trap when I play. First up, we're gonna offset central defender. Right. So these guys might step up. These guys are not really gonna be in a line. We might get caught out. So you wanna be thinking about your offside traps. Now here as well, I play focus play through the middle because I want these two midfielders to support the play of the shadow striker. So this is my 3-4-1-2. It works in the game. I've got Dark Side. Now Dark Side is a crazy system, right? We used in FM. Last year we created this on stream. Now I found I've played with this again. I've added focus play to the middle for Dark Side because this is where all the brunt of the action actually happens, not down the flanks. The flanks are just supporting the play. But when do you use focus play and when do you not use focus play? That should be the question guys should be asking. If you come up against a system that's playing with a defensive midfielder or two defensive midfielders and you go focus play to the middle, it kind of sounds like you are not looking at the tactic you're playing against. If you got two defensive midfielders there and you go focus play to the middle, you're telling all your players, hey guys, you know where we're going to focus our attacks? Exactly where they have the most players. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Right? So when you play with focus play, just do me one favor. Look at the formation that's on the pitch first. Right? If you see, first up, when you use focus play, you got to be thinking of your tactic, the strengths and weaknesses of your tactic. Where are your strengths? How do you want to build up your attacks? Second thing you need to think about is, when you look at your own system and it's building up its attacks, okay, sometimes your focus is perfectly set up for your tactic. But what if you play against another system? Like, for example, this Dark Side system that I have, right? It's real strength that's coming to the middle. But what if I end up playing against a team that's got two DMs? I'm just creating an orgy of players in the defensive midfielder zone. Seriously, they're having too much fun, right? Everybody is going to get upset because they're waiting for the next turn with the ball, right? So you might want to think of a way to overlap then, because there's too much action going on in the middle. You want to go and go via the flanks. So either you use a tactic that helps you do that, or you think about tweaking your system somewhat. So focus play, you got to think about focus play before going in. And I discovered that very, very quickly when I was playing the beta. I love the new changes to focus play. What I am most concerned about is people thinking that this is a reskin of FM20. Honestly, I think SI have done a fantastic job with this game. I really think so. Because considering the environment that we are all living in, as far as programmers are concerned, when it comes to a game, honestly, there is a lot you can do away from the office, right? But you still need to brainstorm, you still need to play, you still need to look over the shoulder of another programmer. You do. Programmers work like this. We like to look over the shoulder of another programmer sometimes, right? So and you kind of do a lot of, like, when it comes to code, you do a lot of brainstorming as well, right? You do a lot of testing, and somebody looks over the code, you see something different. It's that kind of environment we live in. And there's a lot of like agile development of software, right? So there's a lot of this like 15-minute meetings that we sometimes have, and then we break away and then we go and do our stuff. Very hard to do during COVID. Seriously, it's so difficult to do because now I'm at home, you're away, I want to share an idea with you, you have to see, it's not the same thing anymore. Right? So it's very challenging. So in that environment, I think SI have done a remarkable job. I love FM21 a lot, right? I don't like the match day experience. I will say this much. I'm not a big fan of the match day experience because I'm not a big fan of touchline tablet, right? So, but I can live with it, right? It's like I'm forced into one view with the touchline tablet with the substitution panel at the bottom. I'm fine with that, right? I can live with that. I love the match engine changes. It means that a lot of tactics are working, but now they're working even better than they did in FM20. Focus play is fantastic. A lot of the tactics work. If your tactic suddenly doesn't work in FM21, step back and think about why it's not working. Chances are, you might want to take a look at your players, for example. The challenge for most people who are new to the game is going to be, how the heck am I going to use things like stars and stuff like this? Like, we've got all these stars, we got all these like icons here. Like, for as far as the match engine is concerned, you can play a player that they're like 4 shades of conditioning, right? You got 2 colors, 2 shades of green, yeah, and you got 2 shades of red, and you got 1 in the middle, right? Okay, now, 2 shades of green and 2 shades of red, that's it, right? And then you got 1 that says a player can't play, like, there's like a do not enter sign. Seriously, it's like no entry for a traffic sign. Okay, now you've got these 4 symbols that you want to worry about. Like for here, you can play this guy. You can definitely play this one over here. Like some people might be wondering, should I play this guy? Of course you can. This guy you can always click on him, like, and then you'll see this come up. And this gives you even more information, even more detailed information. His risk of injury has increased. The match load is a bit light. Train load is light. Injury susceptibility is light. Fatigue is fresh. Very little fatigue. He should be playing. He's fine to play. Go. What about all this? This is sharpness, right? This just maintains sharpness. This guy is sharp. This guy is losing sharpness, so he should play. This guy is definitely has an issue, right? So make him available for under 23s or play him in some matches. This guy is losing. So this you get used to it very fast. And there's no big deal. I like 93%, whatever. I hated that last year. 95. People are coming to me and say, I only play players at 95%. And I was like, huh? Really? You can play players at 85. You can play players at 75 if you want. What the hell's wrong with you? Right? So if you got the 2 shades of green, a player can last for a whole 90 minutes. Then you got the next shade, which is red. Now that player can only play for 45 minutes. And then you got the final shade, the last one. Right? That you probably can't play the play at all. So that's it. That's all you have to worry about. And then during the match, you might get information from your assistant manager, and it makes some fantastic recommendations on who to take off. You don't have to do anything else. Just, okay, I'll take him off. So that is pretty good. Now, other things here, opposition instructions play the same way. Match plans, I don't really use match plans very much right now. Corner set piece, as you can see, I was using default set pieces, right? I'm using a lot of default set pieces. So if you're going to download my tactics, which is going to come in the folder, my recommendation is think about your set pieces as well. I've not touched the set pieces. I've included a chapter on set piece guides, right? How you can set up your set pieces, and you can go on and do it from there. Trust me, it's not that hard. Okay. I do not want to go out there and create multiple set piece routines for multiple tactics and then discover that, oh no, these don't work for my players and I've got to change it again. So my advice, I've taken some pains to write a really long chapter. So Yeah, it's from the main guidebook that I've got for FM21, which is coming on November the 25th, after the match engine changes have been firmed up. So I would recommend taking a look at that. So what other match engine changes should you be aware of? Other than that, you've got this, right? The only thing SI, can you please include expected goals here? If we don't have expected goals here, which is a bit of a pity. So you're going to come here, team report. You see this attacking efficiency? Real Madrid's attacking efficiency is here now. It means that I shoot 11 shots on average and I'm clinical. My finishing is excellent, right? We have not conceded a goal yet, right? So if you want to see a defensive efficiency, you come here to the analyst report. You come to conceding, you see a defensive efficiency. We should be here somewhere. Where is Real Madrid? There we go. We have not conceded a goal. Look at us. We're on the line. We allow 10 shots on average, right? And we have not conceded a goal. We are in the busy, impenetrable period. I can definitely drop this below this amount if I change my tactics, but we are playing with 3 different tactics on the stream. Right? All 3 tactics work, and this is your shot map of what you've been facing. And if you go to the scoring map, you see your XG for all your matches here. These are the kind of chances you've created in the last 5 matches, right? 27 with the feet and 3 with the hit. It tells me I shouldn't be changing my tactics. Honestly, if this is just all the information that I need, I'm happy with this. The biggest problem for good shots, right? You don't want to have a tactic, right, that has got a lot of chances created with hit. That's it. You got a problem, because headers in terms of XG are low percentage shots, unless it's a header that's in the zone, right? I remember the zone, right inside the penalty, right inside, literally next to the goal line. That is a good header. Like something that's over here. These are good XGs. Here's 0. This is out. I don't even know how this happened over here. So here, these are all decent XGs. Luka Jovic shot, I go 0.22. This one is 0.46 XG from Eden Hazard. And then we got one more here, 0.22. So you can see as you move out, your XG rating goes up. It becomes harder, right? So you need like more function of time, or function of your favorite foot, a function of your feet, function of where the goalkeeper is, a function of a lot of things. Like there's 7 things. I'll do an XG video very, very soon. So this is solid. So you can actually go in here to do your analysis as well. This again, you want a shorter version, or rather, let's go back in here. If you want something else, you can come in here. So this is our match against Alaves, right? Same as last year, same information from last year. I don't normally use this a lot, so I'm only focusing on the stuff that is going to be relevant for FM21. So for FM21, if you go into the game, right? When you go into the game for FM21, I want you to do this. I want you to take a look at your best performing tactics from FM20. Ask yourself a question. If you're scoring a lot from set pieces, if you take this into FM21, you might have an issue, right? Find your best performing tactics and then set your set pieces, whatever, to default, and then pop them into the game. Now, my recommendation as well, when you play this game, for the first couple of games, you don't have to do it for a long time. Just pick a really good site, try the tactic out, see if it works. Chances are most of your tactics are still going to work. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's little video on the match engine, and I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always look me on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website, which hasn't been updated in a very long time. I plan to write something on it very, very soon. Once again, I want to thank all my patrons for their continued support this channel. You make these kind of shows possible for everybody else. Don't forget, the FM21 handbook, tactics handbook, will be coming out very soon, probably in the next few days. So you want to be checking the description of my videos or any tweets that I put up. So please follow and retweet if you can. And the more people that get a chance to try out the tactics, the better I will bet happier I'll feel. The guidebook is coming out very soon, November 25th. We have a few books coming out. We've got the tactics handbook, we've got the training handbook, plus I'm doing replications this year as well. So there'll be a quarterly update on replications that will go out to all my patrons. And of course, those of you who are interested in replications, don't worry. Okay, the video is also coming out once the replications is done, so you guys won't miss anything. As usual, I'm trying to make sure everybody has access to my content. Whether you're a patron or not, you will have access to my content. So yeah, it's going to be easy. Right, so you guys, I'm looking forward to catching up with you. So drop in on the YouTube live stream if you can. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. I'm sorry this video went on for a while. I just want to cover as much as I can. And I look forward to catching up with you on some of my live streams. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.